here goes a whole lot of nothing. We're going to have runners. All right. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate the good luck. Thank you, Medium Rare Roy. I appreciate it. I think this is going to be really rough. Especially with everyone being naked. I don't think that's going to help our help our situation. So if I move to here, how far can I retreat? Not very far. All right, so we're going to Tome of Secrets with the remainder of our turn. I probably need to move this far back because if they come in, they're going to come in hard. Let's see. I did that because I saw the opportunity for a nice... oh, that was a misclick. Ballistas, I feel like, do so little... unfortunately. Alright, we're going to have to do a bit of line of sight hunting here, I think. Ooh, that was a bad break point. Oh, and now we're Dunskies. So is there any way for us to get a snipe on this guy? Nope, we just got cut off by the edge of this. I'm searching all over for it. So corner of the building doesn't get it. This corner of the building doesn't get it. Yeah, okay, so I think we just can't get a hit on this guy. And we're just gonna have to live with it. Oh, we don't have the ability to armor up on this person either. Alright, we just have to let this one come in, and we have to deal with it. Freaking runners. Four action points left. There's no one else that's going to be able to get in here to get this guy. So, just sort of has to be that way, and then we can move to here. How can you be so... I think this part up here is going to be real bad news for us, I think. We need to hit those breakpoints, among other things. The bandana dog is much appreciated. Medium Rare Roy. Where does that come from? Let's see. I'm tempted to just do lightning here, but I'm worried it's just going to loop back on itself. There's a lot of runners in this one, so I'm going to hope that we get some luck over there. And I'm just spending mana with a reckless abandon in hopes that I can... Did Florian just say I could do this all day? Because if so... I have some very bad news for Florian. They cannot do this all day. They pretty much can't do this much longer. All night long. Yeah, right. Oh, God. The fact that the runners just ignore you unless they, like, land right next to you is so frustrating. Oh. Wait. All right, well, it's not going to be a perfect. Holy cow. Oh, it was these two over here. Jeez. Insane. All right. Just have to focus the runners, and even then, I don't think we survive. The runners is just what can you even do? All right, so before I go over there, I have to get rid of that runner. But here's the thing. The next round of runners is already has already arrived. And I simply don't know what to do about it. Well, might as well spend the mana, right? You don't get to take the mana with you, is the conventional wisdom, I believe. Yeah, that's why... I mean, I think, like, the runners for me are the primary reason that I feel like you have to rush Seer. Because you can get maybe, like, a couple nights without runners, but at some point you're going to hit runners. And if you've let the fog creep in even the tiniest bit, like, the runners are in your base turn number 2. This round, the runners have 96 HP. I mean, with the... So one of the primary ways we could optimize towards killing the runners is to buy some gear and not only buy gold mines. Right? You know, to a certain extent, we have given up the opportunity for optimizing towards damage, right? Which is what you need to be able to one-shot the runners. By instead focusing on economy, right? That's kind of the balance that we're striking here, and it's a very delicate balance. That's all I will say on that. I'm not going to say that I have the answers, but that's the problem that we're facing. I think that's the thing. You have to make some very aggressive compromises in order to make it work. And at least thus far, I've not figured out which direction to go. I still lean towards the answer being heavy Seer, get your initial party able to kind of survive the first nights, and then go from there. Destroy my own catapult? Fine. I think this is the turn where we start to lose people, though. So buying a bower as an example, right, is going to guarantee you a ranged weapon. But it's going to be a random selection of ranged weapons. And at least in my experience, they start out pretty weak. Yeah, so I knew that was coming. we didn't have the ability to retreat any further without kissing our butts goodbye. But yeah, this is looking like a loss. We're losing the gold mines that we spent all the money and time on. Oh, I miscounted. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great experiment. So I don't want to discount the value of experimentation like this. I think this is, this is what you need to do. This is how you find the way to a winning strategy, is by questioning your assumptions and seeing what works and what doesn't work. This, I think, is not quite it. So I think the Night 1 greediness was fine too. Ultima, I am unconvinced if the Night 1 greediness was the best possible setup though, right? So like, one of the other things that I think is critical to making progress is that you have to clear out the space immediately. You have to clear out the ruins relatively quickly because the enemies move so quickly that your core important buildings need to be directly around the last spell. And if you aren't prioritizing workers, I think you can get into a lot of trouble with being able to actually clear out the places you need to clear out to avoid the baddies coming and knocking. So that's the only thing that I'm curious about, but that'll be a death. Yeah, so lots to think about from this run. I think that we haven't found. Yeah, so I agree. The 4 ruins is the most important. But I also think that the 2 ruins lock up a lot of the really important space. So, right, so being able to kind of like, my theory is, and, this is like the strategy that I go back to and has failed many times. It succeeded many times on APOC 4 and failed many times on APOC 5, is that if you get the workers early, then you can ramp economy later and kind of meet yourself halfway. And the ruins give you just enough of a cash infusion to get your seer up. And maybe what we need to do is get the seer up, and then instead of going seer into inn, we need to go seer into gold mines. And that might work. But yeah. This was super fun. Thank you to everyone who kind of like chipped in your brains, and everyone who's playing on their own, please continue playing and let me know if you find strategies that seem to work. I think what we'll probably do for next stream, since this is going to be the end point here, is we'll probably try a bit of a hybrid approach. I think it's smart to get yourself to like 8 workers pretty early so that you can be clearing some space, but then maybe we transition into gold mines after that and see if we can kind of find a sweet spot. But I'm relatively convinced that Night 2, having 2 weapons on everyone is a priority worthy of trying to hit, unless you get really bad rolls.